welcome to our today's session. So in our today's session, we'll be discussing Microsoft Excel as a part of your ESD2 syllabus, right? What is MS Excel? MS Excel is basically, MS Excel stands for Microsoft Excel, which is basically a spreadsheet which will have columns and rows so that you can do all these mathematical calculations and all. So let's see how many rows and columns are there in your Microsoft Excel. So Microsoft Excel actually offers you about uh, 1,48,576 rows and the columns are 16,384. Okay, this is you just keep this in mind. Okay, so that is the that is the amount of data which you can store in one Excel. Okay, first things first, let's understand this first. So whatever, I mean, you just follow my cursor. The top things what you see are called the tabs. This is file tab, home tab, insert tab, page layout and so on. Okay. There is this one small arrow mark on the top of your this thing, correct? If you click on that, it is called customize quick access toolbar. Here you can add all these things to your quick access. For example, you can put email here. Okay, if you want to send this file now, once you open this file, you are done with finishing it. Instead of going to your mailbox and drafting an email, then clicking on attach file and then giving the path and then selecting this file, what you can do is that you can just click on this so that it will take you to Microsoft Outlook. So using Microsoft Outlook, you can directly send this file as an attachment. If you want to have okay, quick print, you just have to click on this so that this will get converted to PDF. So this one trick you can use so that things will be there in your fingertips, right? Okay, coming back to our tabs. So these are the tabs, and each of the tabs offer you various functionalities. Okay, and then this is called cell address. For example, now it is in 359th row and K column. Correct? You can even name it as um, okay. You can just name it as give a name to the cell itself. Let me try. Okay, you can just give it as MBA. Now if you want to go to that particular thing, you just click on that and click on this box, you just type MBA. So now you know which reference you have given. Okay, say for example you have some we have some 59 students in your class, correct? So I'll call this cell as MBA. So wherever I'll be working here, right? I'll be working somewhere here, and quickly I want to know what is the total strength of MBA students. I'll just go to this box and type MBA and click on enter. We'll get to know this, right? This is what we call it as cell address. Next is your formula bar. Formula bar we'll see in later parts of the sessions how this exactly works. Okay, we are done with this. Okay, these are rows and these are columns, and one important thing is that many of you get confused between tabs and sheets. Just follow my cursor. These things are called as sheets and not tabs. Tabs are these things: home, insert, page load, formulas. So whenever somebody refers to as tabs, you guys need to go. You need to understand that they are referring to this tab. However, if they are mentioning something as pages, you need to refer to. You need to understand that they are referring to these things. All right, and did we miss out anything? Any other basic things? I think that's about your basic this thing page layout. Okay, now that you guys are, let's get into the data and see how to uh, fill the data or how to work with data. If you guys can see my screen here, I mean, it's like it is showing few hash marks, correct? Hashtags it's showing. Why does this basically happen? This basically happens because the space or width of the column is not sufficient for the data to be shown. What do we do for this? Also, if you see here, employee's name, it shows Prabhakara Reddy, correct? But since the width of the column is very narrow, you are not able to view the entire thing. So how do we edit this? Just click on this column, this corner button. So now how do we fix this issue? What you can do is that you just have to click on this corner button and you can double click on any of the rows. So things will fall in place. Or second option is that you can use shortcuts. Guys, one thing I want to tell you is that whenever you are working with Excel, uh, okay, this is what I learned from my company. It's like a person who uses the most shortcuts and less mouse. You should never use mouse when you are working with Excel. That's when you can call one as an expert. If you are an expert, you will never use mouse. Why you will not use mouse is that you learn all the shortcuts easily, and once you get hold on shortcuts, you can I mean, your speed will automatically increase. That is one tip which I wanted to give you people. And I'm just compressing everything so we learn the shortcut. Okay, now what we can do is that you just have to click on this alt HOI and alt HOA. Now I think the things would have fallen in place, right? See, now it will take the exact width, whichever is, I mean, the exact quantity of width which is necessary. What you can do is that you can click on any of the column, you can go to format and you can click on auto fit row height or auto fit column width. So that's how I did, but I did it with I mean, I did it by using the shortcuts. All right, and okay. First thing, so this is about your basics of Excel, how to take the sheets and how to put it in proper format. Okay. Now moving forward, let me show you one quick trick. Okay, this is one trick which I learned from my trainers. So if you guys observe here, so these things are blank, and here there is uh, one column called pin code of the address. Okay, they were supposed to write the pin code of address, but this is entirely blank. So what happened was that when we were working with our company, so one of the trainer gave me this trick. So this was a personal experience of the trainer, and trainer was very good at Excel. Okay, he was like ustad in that field. Excel, any trick, any formula, or any shortcut you ask him, he'll just give you. I mean, it will be on the back of his hands. So, what happened was that I mean, it was about some 5 o'clock in the evening, and he was supposed to leave the office. Okay, the place where he was working with. So suddenly at 5 o'clock, his boss called him and asked. So I see that there is a. I mean, he was working for sales. Okay, so he wanted data of September month, entire data. For example, I'll just show you. So boss asked for September month's data. Let me just type September. He wanted sales figures. Okay. So how do you give you? I mean, most of his colleagues had already left, but this person was stuck in office and he wanted to, give data to the boss. But he had a fair idea that, uh, I mean, it would be somewhere around 1 lakh to 1,25,000 every day. Okay, that was their average. Average was 1 lakh to 1 lakh 25. Okay, please keep this in mind. Let me just type the dates. Okay, September 30. Okay. Everyday sales would be about 1 lakh to 1 lakh 25. So what we can do is that, so bottom is 1 lakh, top is 1 lakh 25,000. I mean, that is the range in which their everyday sales will be. So sales figures will be automatically generated. So this is what saved his day. Instead of going there and taking the exact data, what he did was that anyway average would be somewhere between 1 lakh to 1 lakh 25, and he just manipulated the data. I'm not saying he was right, but this is the power of Excel. You just have to make Excel understand what are your needs. Rest of the things Excel will take care. So from my past experiences when I was working with corporates, it was like day in and day out we used to use MS Excel very extensively, and we used to get trainings every now and then regarding Excel. And I mean, there was one employee I remember. He was my colleague, and he was working for my I mean next team. So what his job was that he was basically finance background or finance specialized person, but he was extensively used for creating macros. What are macros? Macros is nothing but your VBA. There is one function called VBA. VBA stands for Visual Basic. Uh, Once, yeah, Visual Basic for Application. So VBA stands for Visual Basic for Application. What happens is that here you can give a set of instructions to Excel. For example, we had got one project during busy season. I mean, we were working very late and all those things. So we were really held up with so many things. So then we got one project. The project was very simple. Okay, I was working for insurance team. I mean, I used to work for insurance sector companies. So there we got one Excel file which had about some 60 to 70 pages. Yeah, 60 to 70 pages. Each of the pages would have had some hundreds of columns and hundreds of rows. Okay, which was sorted after each and every person's name. So what they wanted is that the project was very simple. They wanted us to convert each page into a separate Excel workbook. Okay, the task was very simple, but imagine if you want to do it for each and every tab. There was some 50, 60 tabs, and clicking on each and every tab and copying the data, pasting it to a separate Excel and putting it into a folder. It was little tedious. So what we did was that with the help of this person, we gave the instructions to Excel. We just told Excel that we need so and so data, and I mean, it was very much automatic. We just was, I mean, we are supposed to use few shortcuts. Shortcuts also you guys can create it. If you want Control plus M to start the session, you just click on Control plus M. It will automatically I mean, it will convert each of the page into a separate workbook. So this is the power of Excel. When if you join corporates, you'll learn Excel extensively. So I just wanted to give you one brief about it. So Ima, okay, first we'll start with, so now that you guys are comfortable with the basics of Excel, correct? What is tab, what is page, what are the, how to set this columns, rows properly with proper width, correct? Now going forward. So if you guys observe here, we are given with date of birth, correct? If they ask you to calculate the age, okay, now that we are learning basic mathematical functionalities, the date and time functions we are learning now. So, okay, now I'll calculate, I mean, if they ask me to calculate the age of each and every employee, right? How do we calculate? I'll give you 30 seconds to think about this. Think how we can, uh, you know, derive the age of a particular employee. Okay. Okay, I don't know how many of you actually got the idea. Good if you guys have got some idea as to how to do. But anyway, I'll just tell you the way. I mean, see, Excel is like according to me is an art. Okay, you can do it in different ways. It need not be in one particular way which you can solve using Excel. Okay, so what I thought was that my thought process is like that. So they have given you date of birth. Let us type in today's date. Okay, how do you do that? So there is one option called uh, 8th July 2020, right? You can just click it so that it gets updated each and every day. One thing what you guys would have thought was that you can type it as 8th July 2020 and drag it down, but I chose to type as today because if they open this Excel sheet tomorrow, it will be updated. Even if they open it after 1 year, it will be updated. Okay. So now that we have got today's date and date of birth, what you can do is that there will be something called as dated if function. Okay, it will be like dated if. Since it's not available in my laptop, what I am doing is that we can have one more formula, that is dated frac. Start date is this date of birth and today's date end date, and what is the basis? We'll take it as 365 days. Close the bracket and click on enter, so you'll arrive at these figures. This you can just drag it, so now you'll arrive at I mean the age of each and every employee. So this is how you'll calculate date, and I mean this is about your date and time function. So there would be certain other functions like your is equal to year. If you want to know the year, you just want year column of this, I mean you just want to know the year in which this particular employee is born. You just click on year, comma, the cell in which the date is there, click on enter. So it says 1995. So like this. So this is what your date and time function is there. Time you can give it as, see, hours you can check, or you can check the, so it says 0 hours because we have not given the time here. So hours, minutes, seconds, everything you can format or you can give it in Excel. You can feed the data. So this is one way of calculating age. So we have seen time and date function in our today's session, right? So going forward, I have just got one small exercise, that is calculating present value. So okay, before that, what we'll do is that we'll calculate. Now that we are done with time and date function, now we'll move on to statistical functions and financial functions. So if somebody asks you what is the average age of all the employees, so now we have about 500 employees, I guess. Yes, we have about 500 employees. So we'll calculate